any other quarterback on our football team. Definitely makes us look good. He is playing, in my eyes, as that he's an MVP player, no doubt about it.
You know what that means. I came home nice, but I'm going back mean. I'm about to globe trot when they know a vaccine up. Zach lost, but they know exactly what's going on. Made a mill and I don't know where to blow it on. I tell a critic shut up, but my show is on. Give a t-shirt
one of those guys, Rodgers or Mahomes, because we're playing highlights of these dudes as you hear the debate rage on about who's better. It's like, Keyshawn, J. Willimax, ESPN Radio, Sirius XM Channel 80. By the way, the ESPN app, if you have not downloaded the app, Harry Douglas in for Key and Jay today. Harry, it's the best app. I mean, if they had this thing when I was a kid, if there was some app for ESPN when I was a kid, I lost my mind. You can check us out on the ESPN app, and you can listen to KJM. Just say, if you have smart speakers, it's a cool thing, man. Play ESPN Radio. We pop right up. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. But Harry Douglas, man, just when you have your eyeballs on those two dudes, Mahomes and Rodgers.
I know.
Bob Gibson, the great Cardinals ace in the 60s, was asked, what's the greatest catch you've ever seen? He said, the greatest catch is like the prettiest lady. The last one you saw is the best you ever saw, right? Like Mahomes and Rodgers, whoever you just looked at last, that's the one that's on your mind. It's nuts. But Harry, listen to what Sammy Watkins said about Rodgers and Mahomes, and I want you to react to this.
Early in camp, Randall Cobb asked you in front of your locker, said Mahomes or Rodgers. You said, I think Pat is incredibly good, but A-Rod is on a whole nother level.
He's amazing, how he controls the ball, how he put everybody in place. I've been with a lot of quarterbacks, and I never seen them carry themselves like Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Harry Douglas, you heard Sammy Watkins. Now, of course, he's now with Rodgers. If he was now with Mahomes, he might be singing a different tune, right? But it sounded like he was being honest to me. What's your assessment?
Now, I think the part I would take out is a whole nother level, more so than Patrick Mahomes. We got to understand, Patrick Mahomes went to 4 straight AFC championship games that they actually hosted in Kansas City, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win. But then when you look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who the last 3 years has been 13-3, he's went to 2 NFC championship games. Now, granted, one of those times he ran up into Tom Brady, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. But then another time he lost to the run game of the San Francisco 49ers and Jimmy Garoppolo. But a guy like Aaron Rodgers, the last 4 seasons, right, he's only thrown a total of 15 interceptions. That is unheard of. You talk about somebody who's going to take care of the football. He's thrown for over 4,000 yards in each one of those 4 seasons. And he has not had more than 5 interceptions in the last 4 years in a single season. So when you look at that greatness, and the thing that I would give Aaron Rodgers over a guy like Patrick Mahomes is the mental part of the game, right? He is going to decipher you with his mind. He is going to deceive you and make you think one thing. And if you're going to play a certain coverage, he's going to be able to pick that up instantly. Now, Patrick Mahomes is still learning. Now, granted, he's younger, but he's still learning, and he's going to get to a point to where he is on Aaron Rodgers' level from a mental standpoint and mental capacity. But if I had to choose, I am going with Aaron Rodgers just because I think – there's every throw on the football field that he can make. There's no throw that he cannot make. He can do it from every arm angle. Not saying that Patrick Mahomes can't do it.
Not only can Patrick Mahomes do it from every arm angle, he don't even have to be looking in that direction.
Exactly. All the no-look passes that he's had. But I'll say this, Max.
Yeah.
I played the receiver position in the National Football League for 10 years, and this is nothing against any quarterback I've played for. I played for Matt Ryan for 7 years, 7 phenomenal years, Marcus Mariota for 3 in Tennessee. And I love both of those guys. But if I had to pick one quarterback that I could have played 1 season with in my 10-year career, I'm picking a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron, baby.
All right. Now, look, we showed a stat twice. I'm going to call for it again here, Harry, because you're making a point that was made to me on This Just In yesterday, that Aaron Rodgers, what he's done recently in the regular season, Aaron Rodgers, for his career, is 5 touchdowns to every interception, give or take, right? And Patrick Mahomes is 4. But in the playoffs in their careers, Aaron Rodgers is a little under 3.5. You know where Patrick Mahomes is still? 4.
Tell me, Max.
And in the last 4 seasons in the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers has 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, which is great. It's better than 3-1. Patrick Mahomes has 20. This is his whole career, 4 seasons in those playoffs. 28 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 4-1. Right? Like and in that time, Mahomes has been to 2 Super Bowls. In Rodgers' entire career, he's been to 1. As you mentioned, he's hosted 4 AFC championship games. He's advanced in the playoffs every single time. Rodgers has not. We're talking about the last 4 years, right? It's a team game. So if your team is good, I don't want to hear about, well, he has Andy Reid, he's on a team. His team's good enough to win 13 games every year. You're good enough to advance in the playoffs. If the quarterback plays better, he played poorly against Tom Brady in that game. Not by normal standards, by his standards.
Well, I wouldn't say he played poorly.
By his standards, Harry,
by his standards, I got you.
He was like, put it this way, even when you say, well, the receiver could have caught that, was it a nice catchable ball, or was it like, damn, Aaron? Remember at the end of the first half against Tom Brady, first time Brady's in your conference.
Yep.
And like they had a chance. They're in the red zone. He couldn't get it done. That's one of the reasons Coach took the ball out of his hands on 4th down at the end of the game and handed it to Tom Brady, so he lost, right? As opposed to when Patrick Mahomes was stopped by Tom Brady in the playoffs. He actually beat Tom Brady. He beat him. Brady threw an interception, game over. Pre-snap penalty, give Brady the ball back. Mahomes never touches it again, except no one said they should change the rules, the overtime rules when that happened. When it happened to Mahomes, when it happened to Josh Allen, and Mahomes is the beneficiary, they changed the rule that year. Mahomes, to me, is like, he's like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre had a baby, right? Like, Brett Favre was a dude who drew it up with the stick in the dirt, and everyone loved playing schoolyard ball and backyard ball with Brett Favre, but he turned the ball over too much. Aaron Rodgers came out and had all the same skills that Favre had, but didn't turn the ball over. So you might say, well, Mahomes is just like Favre. But just like Rodgers, but he's not. Because Favre had something Rodgers doesn't have. He has that. You could see his teammates have fun playing with him. He's electric. He's off schedule at times. You know, he's clearly not just respected but loved, right?
He is.
Mahomes got that same thing, that same juice Favre had. Plus, he doesn't turn the ball over like Aaron Rodgers, and he's had more playoff success, Harry.
You're right, and listen, we both can be right. I don't really think there's a wrong answer here. It's just that I think I've played against Aaron Rodgers so many times, Max. When I was in Atlanta in 2010, we had the number 1 overall seed, right? I think it was 13-3 we were that year. The Green Bay Packers barely squeaked into the playoffs. I think they beat the Chicago Bears the last game of the year to put them into the playoffs. They came into the Georgia Dome at the time and blew us out. I also played against Aaron Rodgers on two separate occasions in the month of December up there at Lambeau, the frozen tundra. The last time it was 2014, where they lined Jordy Nelson up in a cut split, and he ran a corner post. And our backside corner read it and understood what was about to happen. So he was replacing someone and going to pick the ball off. Aaron Rodgers put that ball on such a line drive, and the trajectory of the football did not allow the corner to pick it off. Yeah. When I see things like that, I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to witness anything like this ever again in my lifetime. No, you talk about when
if you're talking about just measuring skills to my eye, Harry, and obviously mine aren't yours. You understand what you're looking at a different level, obviously. But he's the best. Rodgers is the best, right? But somehow, when you measure team success, and again, I'm not trying to hear, well, he hasn't had better coaches, a good enough team, because they get 13 wins every year in the regular season, right? So you're good enough. And somehow, whatever he's doing, like I made this argument, Rodgers over Brady for years. Like, come on, man, don't compare Brady to Rodgers. Brady got Belichick. Rodgers clearly better than Brady. But when it comes down to it, Brady has a certain effect on the team that Rodgers does not seem to have in the moment of truth. And there have been enough moments of truth that after a while, it's not just luck. It's not just who's coaching. It's not just, Brady's getting lucky. You can't get, no one gets that lucky. All right.
Yeah, but that's the one thing I say about Aaron Rodgers, that you talk about the charisma and the relationship with his teammates and his aura and the way he does things. That's the difference between him and a Tom Brady and a Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it is. And like the results are not there for Rodgers. Now, look, compared to everyone who ever lived, practically, yes. But compared to the greats, the greatest of all time, he is, to me, falling into the Peyton Manning category, which is greatest or best regular season player ever. It's probably Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's probably the best regular season player ever, but he is not in the GOAT conversation because if you can't get it done when it counts most, right? I know Peyton won one. Rodgers has won one. Well, Peyton won two. But, he was along for the ride on the second one and won one because of him. But I get that, and it's not like Dan Marino who never won the standard. But when Brady's sitting on 7, the standards change, brother. They just change, and you can't. Like people used to talk about. Well, Peyton didn't have the defense that stopped him from scoring a single point against the Jets in the playoffs. There are too many situations, and when it mattered most, where Peyton Manning and now Aaron